Score stands at 75 games. Strickland 68 for Efren Reyes. Strickland had the break.
Oh, there's the one ball in the side pocket. He has that shot down to perfection, doesn't he?
Oh, yes. He's done that so many times in this match. It's just uncanny. What's the degree of difficulty here?
Well, it's extreme. It doesn't look like he has a direct route to the 2-ball. I think he's either going to have to masse or push out. The masse, that's very risky business because you're curving the cue ball to make a legal hit.
He's called the push.
Yeah. The reward, if he did make the ball on a masse, it was unlikely he would obtain proper position for the 3-ball, so it just wasn't there. Now this is an interesting position. The 2-ball banking it back into the 6-ball does not appear to be on. Play the safe. And while it appears that the ball is makeable, it's very close, and it's it's highly uncertain. Earl's been over to look at it, so it's got to be very close as to whether he can make the ball. He slightly curved the ball in, and he was very unlucky there. He made a tremendous curve shot, picked up a foul. That was a great shot. There you see it in slow motion. That was the shot of a champion. It just was not very lucky. Now I would predict that Efren will try and get the cue ball on the end rail rather than leave it out in the middle of the table, because the 6-ball's deeply buried into the corner pocket, and it makes it awful hard. Yep. Makes it awful hard if you leave the cue ball out near the center of the table to get proper position on the 7, where the position he's in now, it makes it fairly routine. Fairly routine for the likes of Efren Reyes.
Oh, yes.
I
You have to qualify that.
Yes. He definitely played this pattern properly. He's come a little short of the mark, and he's kind of laughing about it. Now he's got to execute a stroke. We're going to see a massive backspin stroke.
Is that massive enough?
That's what you want to be able to do, but you want to play a position where you don't have to do it because it's a little riskier. That's why Efren smiled there right before he shot the ball in.
Well, the score is 75-69 in favor of Strickland. Efren Reyes trails by 6 games. This is now raised to 120 games. And score stands at 75 for Strickland, 69 for Reyes.
Well, Efren didn't make a ball on the break, and he's left Earl a fairly makeable shot on the 1-ball. That was a difficult shot. He hit it pretty well. And that's a shot he's been making throughout the week. Just throughout the week. Now this is the type of game that best suits Efren Reyes' style of play. The opportunity for both players to shoot in the rack. Yesterday, Strickland won 16 games that Efren had no chance to win because he didn't get a chance to shoot. Of the remaining games, which there were 49 games played, Efren won 30 of those.
Well, that's a credit to Efren that the game ended up that close.
But definitely, yeah, very easily. Any other player would have been soundly defeated yesterday.
Well, just to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, the second night ended with Strickland in the lead by 7 at 70-63.
To be honest with you, Ed, I really thought that we would see some changes in the play. I thought that maybe we would start off at one level and then by this time it had reached a fever pitch and we might see some really outstanding pool, but we started right off at a high level and it's been maintained throughout.
Yeah.
It's amazing that these guys can maintain the pace that they're keeping.
Now, Efren Reyes again makes a run at the lead of Earl Strickland. He cuts it down to more manageable level at 7 games, or rather 5 games, 75-70. Score at 75-70 in favor of Strickland. Raised to 120 now.
Well, that's what needs to happen for Efren. Even though he's not going to come out with maybe a terrific shot on the one ball, the wing ball went in from where he broke. And if he can stay at that spot where he gets the wing ball action as well as the possibility of the one going in the side, that would really boost his chances to win this match. Made a tremendous bank shot here. This is a tremendous shot.
Yeah, this hits the ball in the corner pocket. The one hanging in that same corner.
Well, there's still some work to be done. There's no problem making the two, but getting the proper position on the one. But getting proper position on the two. As I was explaining the difficulty, he made it look so easy. I'm embarrassed I even started. I think it's that, to me, that would seem hard. It doesn't appear that it seems hard to him at all.
Well, I'm sure he draws upon a lot of experience to be able to make these shots that just baffles most of us here.
What I love about his style is that it looks like he puts about as much effort into it as drawing the breath of air. I mean, he's just so casual and relaxed.
It's just also natural with him.
And what we're seeing here is vintage Efren Reyes. You can see how dominating he can be.
And this is the closest that Efren has gotten tonight, the third and final day of this match. Lead of Strickland down to 4 games at 75-71.
Efren Reyes is. And there we see Mr. Strickland. He's patiently waiting for his next turn at the table. Now the wing ball hasn't gone in, but the cue ball scratched.
Yes. Another stroke of bad luck on the part of Efren Reyes.
Well, that type of a scratch is not a stroke of bad luck. That's a he mishit the brake just a little bit there, and not by much, but just a little bit, just enough that the cue ball kind of slid that way. You notice it wasn't kissed; it ended up going directly into the pocket. When you're hitting your brake really good, you're hitting it so square that it's not allowed to go that way. Well, we have a pause in the action.
As well, Earl just missed a shot, and we're waiting for Efren Reyes to come back into the hall.
Well, Earl is definitely distracted tonight, unlike last night where he was so focused and really in his good rhythm and pace. I don't know that he's left Efren a great shot. He clearly hasn't, but it's more than what Efren really expected that he would get out of this, due to the fact that Earl had ball in hand when he started this. But this last turn at the table wasn't characteristic of the way Earl has played throughout the week. Now, I'm pretty certain that Efren cannot cut this 4-ball in because I don't think he would have labored so long determining what he's going to do. I think he would like to play this shot rail first and maybe get a safety out of it, but he's afraid the 4-ball is going to end up too close to the 9-ball and possibly in return leave Earl Strickland the shot to win the game and pocketing the 9-ball. That being the case, he may go ahead and try to play offense and make the 4-ball by going rail first with a lot of right-hand spin. Oh, he had enough of it. He could try to play safe. But left the 4-ball very near the pocket. What he attempted to do there was by no means easy. Tremendous shot. And he had another tremendous shot.
Earl Strickland now leading by 4 games. Started off this match tonight with a 7-game difference in Strickland's favor.
I think does the 7-ball pass by there? It must, the way he played positions.
Strickland moves up by 5 at 76-71.
Well, this is really going to be an interesting night because we're playing an additional 15 games further into the match than what we have previous nights. And the length of that, and it's rigorous. It'll be interesting to see which guy can stand up and take it the longest. This would be the equivalent of maybe a 20-round championship fight as opposed to a 15-round.
Well, we see some of the very beautiful ladies have come out to help out in the match. Top-notch models here in Hong Kong.
Earl just made the wing ball. That one ball ended up in very near proximity to the side pocket. He has a good chance to get started well in this rack. Now the 6-7 would appear to be the stopping points in this rack. If he's going to have a problem, that will be the area of the table that he has the problem with. The 6, 7, 9 are all located very near each other. And Earl's now examining that quite closely. Let's look at playing the 6-7 combination. That can be tricky as well because the 9 ball is there to possibly impede you from getting ideal position transferring. If you make the 7 ball, the 6 is going to bounce away from the rail a little bit. Strickland just made an absolutely spectacular position play. We've seen him hit a few balls with a minimum amount of speed tonight, and really to good effect.
Considering that he is known as a power player, he is displaying another facet of his game.
He's got the cue ball taking perfect angles into the ideal position zone.
Score now stands at 77 Strickland, 71 Reyes.
And that was Earl's second break and run out of the night. Efren as well has 2 break and run outs for the night.
Game stands, it's a 6-game difference in favor of Earl Strickland at 77-71.
Now there you see the cue ball has quite a bit of spin left on it, and that was not his good break. He mishit the cue ball a little bit, but because he generates so much power, he's still able to move the rack quite a bit. Unlike his usual 28-mile-an-hour break, and that was probably more in the vicinity of a 23-mile-an-hour break. Seems like he's found his tempo here all of a sudden, doesn't it?
This is the kind of a pace that he displays whenever he feels like he's in the zone.
And this is also the kind of pace that endears him to so many fans and referees, so it doesn't take too long.
Strickland goes back to his 7-game lead at 78-71. Strickland leads by 7. Race to 120. Score is now 78. Strickland 71. Reyes.
And another crushing break. And he's concerned with the 4-ball possibly impeding his shot to the 1. Looks like it may have gotten in the way of pocketing the 1-ball. He's lining up a kick shot. He's made a nice shot. And he's going to be rewarded with a real decent safety from the position that he was in. Well, this was what Efren was repeatedly looking at his first turn at the table last night. And this requires a lot of energy, which is to make this type of a defensive shot or be constantly confronted with the volume of energy it takes to make a shot from here. And particularly in the case of a safety where there's no assurance that you'll win even if you do make a good shot. You hate to burn up your energy that way. Now the shot that I think we're going to see here is that Earl is going to attempt to kick the 1-ball into the side pocket. And when I say kick, I mean have the cue ball come to the end rail first with a spin and bounce into the 1-ball, stopping the cue ball on this end of the table, sending the 1 toward the side pocket. If the 1 goes in, he has perfect position for the 2. If he barely misses this shot, the 1-ball ends up on the end rail and the cue ball down here behind the 4-ball. He didn't try that. He tried to play a straightaway safety. Boy, what a great shot. He had to hit that with warp drive power and left-hand English at that length of the table. Anytime he puts side spin on the cue ball, no longer does the cue ball go just perfectly straight.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing Efren display a little bit of the power game tonight. Efren has the balls all laid out nicely. Absolutely no problems now after the opening volley of difficult shots.
Efren starts the run of games that earned at 3 as he moves the lead down again to 6 games at 78-72.
You know, for as well as Efren has played, he really hasn't dented the lead much, has he?
Well, the closest that he's gotten was to narrow it down to a 4-game difference. But then Earl Strickland came back and made a 3-game run.
That was a terrific break and a real unfortunate kiss. Real unfortunate. They had the cue ball stopped in the center of the table and the ball kicked it clear in the back pocket. And thus the fortunes of 9-ball. Earl's going through this rack quite freely. He's fell a little short of the mark here, and I think we may see a bank shot on the 9. Yeah, he made it easily.
And he reestablishes that 7-game lead at 79-72.
Yeah, what a bank shot he made. He didn't belabor much time on that one, did he?
No.
He knew what he had to do, and he executed it perfectly. There you see our scorekeeper and statistician, Ollie, as well as some of the happy patrons there.
Mr. Puet with Mr. Ernie Fajardo there. As we said, they took the time out to fly over from the Philippines to lend moral support to Efren Reyes. There's that 1 ball in the side pocket again.
The 2 ball also went in, and then the 3 ball is in the close proximity of the cue ball.
Safety shot by Earl Strickland.
And extremely well played. He kept the 3 ball from going right in front of the side of the pocket. This makes a very difficult kick attempt for Efren. It's not that Efren can't kick and hit, it's just very difficult for him to do much from here. I'm sure he's going to be playing to make the 3. That was the penalty. To play to hit one side of the ball, sometimes you inadvertently don't hit it. If it was just a matter of hitting that ball, Efren would have never missed it, but there was absolutely no sense because the reward wasn't going to be there. So sometimes you have to take a little gamble in this game to try to produce a winning shot. Earl's not wasting any time. He's in his good 2-stroke rhythm. He's executed this perfectly. Ideal position, good speed control.
And this is the biggest lead tonight. An 8-game difference at 80 for Strickland, 72 for Efren Reyes.
Strickland needs 40 games to win the match, and Reyes needs 48 games to win the match. Somehow you feel like it's going to end up getting close, though. I just kind of sense it in the air. I don't think it's going to maintain this margin.
It certainly looks that way, although Earl Strickland has opened up an 8-game lead. You know that Efren Reyes can just bounce back any time, given the opportunity.
And the last game was set up by the powerful Earl Strickland break. If you remember, he made a couple balls on the break and then played the first safety. And as we've so often repeated, that first shot at the game in 9-ball is often a win-producing shot.
seeing any difficulty in this particular situation, Mike?
Well, the way he's on his tempo here, I don't think, as he staggers the 6 ball in, I don't think he'll miss the 6, but he's in his rhythm right now, and he really hasn't missed very many balls throughout the 3 days that we've played here. This has to be a little frustrating for Efren. As well as he's played, he just absolutely can't make headway here.
Earl Strickland ups the lead to 9 games, 81-72.
Well, Earl's truly working his game plan to perfection. The break and run out game has worked all 3 days.
How many has he got tonight? Is that his 3rd?
That'll be his 4th tonight. However, the game before was really a win that was produced by his break because he made a killer safety to begin the game and then went right out as soon as Efren got up and shot. Looks like he has a bank shot, and it's a two-way shot. If he makes it, he can win the game. He made the ball, but he didn't make much for position, or at least to what us mortals call position.
Looks like it was a position.
Well, not really. Yeah, not really. He had turned the cue ball loose, and I don't think he's been rewarded. He bumped the 6. And that's the bad thing. Although I'm not saying maybe position wasn't available with the bank shot that he produced. Tried a game-winning kick shot on the 6 ball. He's left that from the shot. He appears to have regained his good humor. Efren displaying a nice long shot. Now he needs to negotiate the 9 ball. The 9 ball's right in the way for everything a guy would like to do with this cue ball. And it wasn't, that shot was intended to hit the edge of the 9 ball. He knew he was going to have to bump the 9 ball. He hit the 9 just a little bit heavy. Oh, what a shot. What a terrific shot.
Efren Reyes had another opportunity not to let Earl Strickland get away with murder here. And he narrows the gap again to 8 games, 81-73.
Well, that was a fantastic shot on the 8th. There's an example of a fine break, and Efren's going to be rewarded by making a ball on the break, and he has a shot on the 1 ball here. And the balls are laying in a pattern that it would seem that he has a fairly high potential to run them out.
Certainly, Efren can't afford to give anything away in this kind of a situation. You'll have to take full advantage of it. He's trailing by 8 games. you again that this is the Color of Money, a $100,000 challenge between two great players, Efren Reyes of the Philippines and Earl Strickland of the United States. We're in the third game, a race to 120.
What a great shot that was. He, for once, one of the few times he played poor position on the four ball, but he's showing some dramatic improvement in his ball making tonight.
Well, Efren knows there will be no tomorrow. And he's just drawing upon that vast experience and know-how to try and get back into this match. And he cuts the lead down again to 7 games at 81-74. Reaching it from Ridgeway's Bar and Restaurant in downtown Hong Kong. This is the 100,000 winner-take-all match between Efren Reyes and Earl Strickland. As you saw, Efren Reyes at the break, the score stands at 81-74. 7-game edge by Earl Strickland of the United States over Efren Reyes of the Philippines.
What a great shot that was. You know, and tonight on these difficult shots, I noticed Efren's body is staying a little bit stiller. The other night I mentioned that he had a little motion, and all 3 times he missed those shots.
Yes. Happened last night a couple of times.
He made a terrific opening shot, but he's confronted with yet another real difficult situation, and it would be very easy to give yourself the safety option by just moving the cue ball ahead just a little bit. 9-ball games are lost at this level by playing too many safeties. If you have an open shot, you really need to be able to pocket that ball.
Well, he certainly went after it.
I don't know if it's possible, but it appears that Efren's picked up even more intensity than what he's displayed. And he never showed a lack of intensity through the whole thing. It just seems like he's just pushing that extra bit harder.
Well, he's displaying some emotion now. Never seen him that way in the
well, this
last
shot,
couple of nights.
no, this shot doesn't present a challenge for him. It was merely a opportunity to take a little time to recollect his thoughts and get focused to go ahead and continue those. He'd made 3 or 4 much more difficult shots earlier in this rack, and it was just, he knew it was time to take a little mental break.
All right, you called it right. And Efren Reyes now with 75 games to Earl Strickland's 81.
And that was really probably the most difficult run out of the night that we've seen so far. That was a spectacular run out.
Certainly put Efren Reyes' skills to the test.
Well, it's almost like he senses that he needs to make a move now. It's starting to get late in the match, and once again, he's crushed the break, and he's going to be rewarded once again. He made a ball, and he's picked up a shot on the 1 ball. And it would appear that these balls are manageable as well. I mean, by no means easy, and there's lots of opportunity for something to happen, but the pace that he's setting and the way he's playing, I think that there's a real good chance he's going to pick up another run out. You know, we've seen Mr. Strickland display some emotion, and to this point, we're just now starting to see a little character come out of Efren. But you know, when you play this long and you play as well as Efren has in this match, and to be able to make absolutely no improvement on the score, that has to be a little frustrating for him as well, and that might stimulate him to display a little emotion.
Of course, it pales in comparison to what Strickland comes up with.
Yeah. But by no means do I mean that it's even in the same category. You know. Well, the cue ball got away from him here.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a mental lapse. Well, he's going to think about that last shot for a moment, collect himself, but I think we're going to see a killer safety shot. I think that when Reyes comes to the table, he's going to be looking from one end rail to the other end rail to hit the ball. That looks like a pretty spectacular. Well, he's got the distance. I guess the 7 ball must be cuttable by the reaction of Efren in the crowd.
Is Earl getting distracted or something?
Yeah, there seems to be just a slight bit of peripheral motion. And he missed it, but it was a very difficult shot.
To top it, all these scratches.
Strickland approaches the table with ball in hand, and I didn't see it, but it might have been a little body motion there by Efren that time. I wasn't really watching for it. It wasn't a shot that you would anticipate him missing. And by no means was it easy. I don't mean that, but these guys, we're so used to seeing them just make one of those shots. Look,
We take it for granted.
Yep. Yeah, I really didn't study technique that time. Earl's concern here is that it is conceivable to scratch in that side pocket. Have to take the scratch out of the shot altogether. He used just a hint of left-hand English to make sure the cue ball didn't go over to the rail.
And Earl Strickland pulls this one off to take another 7-game advantage at 82-75.
And that was one of the rare games that we saw Efren make 2 mistakes in the same game. It's been very rare where we saw Efren make 2 mistakes in one game. These guys go for games and games and don't make any mistakes.
That's true. Well, we're going for the player who gets to 120 games first. So far, the score stands at 82 for Strickland and 75 for Efren Reyes.
Strickland hit a killer break, pocketing 1, 2, 3 balls on the break.
Well, he really can break it up, huh?
Yeah. The way it looks now, he even played the balls in rotation on the break. He made the 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Great safety shot.
Absolutely spectacular safety. This is nearly the same shot that Efren had to open the match, if you remember. I think he's going to have to kick the same way they did before, 3 cushions. Problem here, it's going to be very difficult to come out of this with to turn this into anything positive. Even if he hits it, it looks like it's the best he could come out with was that Earl would be able to play another easy safety. Well, he's lining up a potential 3-rail kick, the 2 side rails, the 2 long cushions, and then drop down on the end rail. And that's very difficult to make a hit that way. The benefit of doing it that way is it is fairly likely or fairly possible that he could make the 4-ball. Even at that, we're talking about a 1 in 50.
Nope.
Yeah, very difficult to hit that ball that way. So once again, Earl's break has set up a potential winning situation. Made 3 balls on the break, made a killer safety, and is justly rewarded with ball in hand. Only 6 balls remaining, 5 now.
Well, you mentioned midway through this match, Mark, that whenever you give the ball in hand to your opponent, it's as if you just lost that particular game.
Yeah, at this level, it's 85 to 90% loss.
Score is now 83 for Strickland, 75 for Efren Reyes. Strickland at the break again, and that 1 ball just seems to go on automatic whenever he breaks, going to that side pocket.
And I can tell by the pace that he appears to have a shot on the 2-ball. I can just tell by the way the player moves around the table. He's happy with this. Yeah. He's come up with a great shot. He has ideal position. Really would appear that there's a good possibility that he's going to go ahead and finish out this rack.
As you mentioned, whenever Earl Strickland goes about this rapid pace, that means he's feeling good about the situation. 84-75. 9-game lead here by Earl Strickland.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of this next rack, we're going to take our 9:30 break.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we started this evening with Earl Strickland leading 70-63, and they're going for 120 games. First player to get to 120 games grabs the 100,000 American dollar pot. Right now the score stands at 84 for Strickland, 75 for Efren Reyes. Strickland at the break.
And as you can see, he got all the energy out of the cue ball. Look where the cue ball stopped.
Top of that, he knocked in, what, 4 balls?
3 balls.
3 balls.
Yeah. And he has a real good chance to finish out this first segment on a real high note.
Well, we're going to have a break right after this game. The first of 2 that we're going to have this evening.
Yeah, he's not happy with the position he obtained here. He's going to have to make a good shot. Mission accomplished. Great shot. Great shot. Strickland.
Now getting a 10-game advantage over Efren Reyes, 85-75, and we're going to go into a 30-minute break. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Ridge Race Bar and Restaurant here in Hong Kong. I'm Ed Bixon for Vintage Sports, together with Mark Wilson. This is the concluding day of a 3-night affair called The Color of Money, a 100,000 US dollar pot, winner take all between Earl Strickland of the United States and Efren Reyes of the Philippines. And Mark, we've certainly seen some spectacular pool these past couple of days.
Oh, the standard's very high. Mr. Strickland last night won 35 games, 16 of which were by break and run out, where Efren had absolutely no chance. And to Efren's credit, he really battled through a lot of adversity to maintain a slim margin of loss.
Well, as we start the third night, Earl Strickland leads the match 70 games to 63, and the object here is to get to 120 wins to pocket the 100,000 US dollar pot. How does it look now, Mark, with Earl having a 7-game advantage over Efren?
A 7-game lead with a talent of this nature is only a modest lead. It's by no means decisive, and I certainly think that we're going to see this match get very close before the end.
How did Earl Strickland manage to get that 7-game lead?
By mostly his style of play, the big break. He has the dynamite break, and he oftentimes is making 2 and 3 balls on the break, and even if he doesn't get a good shot on the 1 ball, he plays a safety that's just lethal.
What does Efren have to do now to get back into this match?
Well, Efren, he really needs to get some good starts. Last night he was at a deficit for good starting shots. He didn't get a real good turn. And Earl, by the same token, not to take anything away, but he creates a lot of offense with his big break, and a lot of times he was picking up early good shots.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see in the background, we've got a good crowd on hand here, all very excited and looking forward to a great match between these two great players, Earl Strickland and Efren Reyes. Do join us when we come back.
Could we have quiet, please? Mr. Strickland to break the balls. I did that wrong. immensely.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, after the 30-minute break here at Ridgeway's Bar and Restaurant in Hong Kong. The match stands at 85-75 in favor of Earl Strickland. This is now a race to 120 games. Not a good break by Strickland.
And 2-ball not going in the pocket really aids his cause. The 1-ball is eminently more makeable with that big ball hanging in the pocket. He can use a little more power and bring the cue ball across the table. He's played it very nicely. And he presently is on a run of 2 racks unfinished. He's opening up this segment just like he has all the previous ones.
Well, Earl Strickland has certainly seized the day in the last few games, erected a 10-game lead. I don't think you can call it a safe lead at this juncture, Mark.
No, but it is starting to get a little bit late, and Efren's going to have to create some offense to possibly keep up with the offensive onslaught that Mr. Strickland's put on him.
Well, he'll have to come to the table to do that, but he hasn't gotten too many opportunities in the past few games.
Well, that was a really nice position shot that Strickland played. Strickland's in his real swift gait here.
That's characteristic of Strickland whenever he's playing well. It is now 86-75, 11-game advantage for Earl Strickland. Strickland has an 11-game lead over Efren Reyes at 86-75.
And that ties his high watermark for games won consecutive or lead-wise. And he's on a current 3-rack consecutive run.
Well, his ability to come up with monster breaks has certainly served him in good stead, Mike.
Yeah, he's perpetually making more than 1 ball in the break. In this instance, he's made 3. And this is power pool at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
Strickland making it look easy.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect position in the 9.
Well, he made very fast work of that. 12-game lead now at 87-75.
And once again, he's barraged Efren with 4 consecutive break and runouts.
After a 30-minute break, Earl Strickland has not given Efren Reyes an opportunity at the table. Strickland now with a 12-game advantage as he comes up with another successful break.
2 balls went in on the break. Strickland on around 4 consecutive break and runouts, plus he'd won a game previous to that to get the break. Yeah, it looks like it's just a matter of time before he picks up his 5th consecutive break and run out. They call him the $1 Million Man. Ed, you want to tell the viewers why?
Well, as you said, they had an insurance policy against anyone winning or running out 10 racks in a row, and he just beat the insurance company.
Yeah, he sure did. 10 consecutive games in tournament play. That's really doing something. Oftentimes the matches are only a match of 10 or 13 games in length, so you have to really get started in a hurry, which is a trademark characteristic of his game.
As you said, he makes real fast work of those frames. It is now 88-75 Strickland. Earl Strickland at the break again. There goes that 1 ball in the side pocket. And what is he faced with now, Mark?
Well, once again, he made 2 balls on the break, but he didn't have any fortune in finding a shot. And for sure, we're going to see a push out. Earl's just right now assessing the table and determining where he would like to push out to. And it's not going to be an easy situation to take a foul and leave something that would be favorable enough. He's going to end up having to push out to a kick shot, I believe. And by a kick shot, what I mean is the cue ball will have to hit a rail before hitting the 3. Well, looks like he'll be able to clip the 3 without having to go to the cushion if he chooses. This makes it a very difficult safety, because if he shoots right at the ball, he's going to have to worry about the cue ball running into one of these object balls on this end of the table and ending up on the same half of the table as the object ball he's playing safe from. Right now, Strickland has got the look in his eye of a man possessed.
Yeah.
And we definitely know that he's been fighting some demons all week. I mean, he doesn't have to just beat Efren Reyes, but he has to beat the inner self. And at times he struggles with that, and at other times he conquers it.
Oh, the past 3 games he hasn't really been acting up as he was wont to do earlier. And,
He's clearly feeling more comfortable with the whole thing, and he's kind of got back into this kinder, gentler self. To Efren's credit, he really played very good, solid pool throughout the entire 3 days.
Well, Efren has struggled with his break, and some mishaps in tonight's games that has totally given Earl Strickland all the opportunity to establish this big advantage.
Efren's taking his time now. He's found a good position to pocket this game.
Well, Certainly a refreshing game for Efren Reyes as he picks up a win. Score now stands at 88-76, a 12-game advantage for Earl Strickland. Seems like a very long time since we've seen Efren Reyes at the break.
And he stayed with his break and made a very solid break. And he's really he's picked up some bad luck here. Another kiss into the side pocket. Had that not occurred, Efren had a real good chance to run these balls out, just like Earl will have there.
Well, you were speaking about Earl fighting some demons. It looks like Efren Reyes has his own devils to contend with the break. Could he be guilty of trying too hard?
No. When you stopped the cue ball, he hit it perfect, and he stayed within his game that time. He did not. I was afraid that he might try to amp up or power up on the break, and that's when the cue ball gets loose. But no, he hit his perfect break. It's just a byproduct of misfortune. But the length of this match, I can assure you that fortune is not going to play a role in the outcome.
Earl Strickland goes back to a 13-game lead at 89-76. Well, you see Efren Reyes in a very melancholy mood there, as he's down by 13 games, 89-76. Earl Strickland at the break.
Another dynamic break.
Got 3 balls in, and that one ball just seems to get drawn into that side pocket every time Earl Strickland makes the break.
Well, I'm not sure what he has here, but oftentimes when Earl gets on one of these big rolls, he'll try a little more wild offensive opportunities, and I would not be a bit surprised to see a Earl Strickland jump shot. No, the way he's queuing up, he thinks he can get right through there and make the ball straight on. And he was exactly right. Very good judgment. Appears he's fallen a little short on the position part of this. And, I would not be a bit surprised to see a side pocket bank shot, cross side. No, he tried to make a slow spin and he committed a foul.
Well, it was Earl himself who called the foul.
Putting these balls away, coasting to the rack, and he's sure to pick up his 77th win.
but he's still down by a big margin. 12-game deficit here facing Efren Reyes. Score stands 89 Strickland, 77 Reyes.
Reyes is set to break the line. Look at the cue ball. He's been getting it there all night tonight. And no luck. No luck. Had a nice break. Absolutely does not have a shot on the 2 ball, and now he's going to have to determine where he's going to push out to, or if he can possibly go rail first to make the 2.
Well, from our vantage point, we can't quite see what Efren Reyes has got.
I think the option is a curve shot to get to the rail right prior to hitting the 2 ball, in which case he could possibly pocket the 2 ball, but the difficulty of not only making that part of the shot, but getting the cue ball to go past the 9 ball and get up for some type of position on the 3 next makes it less than ideal. Yep. And here you can see on the monitor that it is a mass A shot to get to the rail. And this is the problem. Yeah. This was the problem. Efren was well aware that that was a possibility, but he was stuck in a situation where there just wasn't much choice. And frankly, this is just the opposite scenario of what occurred the first night. Efren was the beneficiary of some of these luckier type occurrences. Strickland's not happy with his position. He's going to have to make some type of a spectacular shot to get the 7 ball in with position.
Spectacular it is.
Yeah, it was a very nice shot. And he's found the mark for position here. I don't believe he'll have any problem putting away the 9.
And it's back to a 13-game lead for Earl Strickland. Raised to 120. It is now 90 for Strickland, 77 for Reyes.
Well, you know, the score is now becoming a problem in this match, and Strickland still needs 30 games, but by leading by 13, that would mean that Efren would have to win 43 games, while Strickland could only win 29.
That seems like a tall order at this point. You're looking at Mr. Puyat, Rolly Vicente, Efren's manager, and Mr. Ernie Fajardo, the president of the Billiards and Snooker Congress of the Philippines.
You know, Rolando Vicente is really an unsung part of Efren's terrific finishes in tournaments and play all over the world. And he certainly deserves a lot of credit.
Oh yes, he's always at the side of Efren Reyes to attend to his every need. And Efren certainly acknowledges that, and they're just the best of friends.
Strickland's pocketing balls with a lot of freedom. It appears that this shot's gotten away from him and he's mishit it a little bit. The way he's going, I would not be a bit surprised to see the 6-ball or the 5-ball possibly go. When you're playing good, good things happen for you. Look at that shot.
Again, it's one of those two-way things, as you were saying.
Well, that wasn't so much. This was more one of those things where when you're running good, you get some good rolls to go with it. He tried to make the 5 and the 6, and they both rimmed the pocket. He chose a wise use of speed, but everything's just turning out peachy for Mr. Strickland.
What a shot there by Efren Reyes.
Yeah, terrific kick shot.
Win by Efren Reyes. That's the lead.
What a terrific kick shot. Efren had to use some low right-hand English to create an angle that would be conducive to hitting a solid contact on the 5-ball.
And this just simply amazes everyone here. I'm sure even you out there on TV land saw the degree of difficulty that Efren had to contend with to make that shot.
Well, his back was against the wall, and he had to play wide open offense.
We'll hear some cheering from the crowd here.
I think it's byproduct that he made a ball in the break and didn't have any misfortune. Efren's smiling now. He just can't seem to buy a shot from the break. Real good chance we're going to see one of his patented defensive plays. Well, conversely, we saw one of his patented offensive plays.
Offensive, yeah. Well, I guess he knows he's playing catch-up here, and certainly...
yeah, safety's not going to get it at this point. It's... when you play high-level 9-ball, the safeties are nowhere near as effective because these guys kick so darn good. Efren's going to have to execute a stroke here, and he's going to be awkwardly stretched on the table. These are the type shots that lesser skilled players often miscue on. These top pros only occasionally will miscue. Hit a super stroke. Came back so effortlessly. It looks like it was easy. That was a fantastic shot.
And he picks up another game to cut the lead down to 11, 90-79, race to 120.
And almost more importantly than winning the racks was the fact that he broke and ran out. That's what
Yes.
that would possibly put him back in this match if he could generate some break and run-outs. Well, he struck another good break here. Made a ball in the break. He's confronted with a pretty difficult thin cut on the 1-ball. I think it's a situation where he's forced to play offense here, but it's not a very easy shot. And he really needs to make sure he keeps his body still throughout this shot. Well, he stayed down long enough on the shot. It was just so difficult that he just hit it a little bit heavy.
Just a hair heavy, I guess.
Yeah, just a little bit. And you can see the one stayed right in the mouth of the pocket. And we've seen 3 or 4 balls. The few balls that he's missed, most of them have ended up right there. The price you pay for a miss at this level is so heavy, and nearly every time there's been a turnover at the table, the opponent has stepped right up there and taken advantage. That was a great position shot. He had to thread the ball through 3 balls.
We've had a bit of an accident here as one of the customers inadvertently broke a glass, and so Earl Strickland is
Distracted.
and he's taking time to get his composure back, and also to allow the staff here to clean up.
Well, he's showing his kinder, gentler self, and it seems like when he's in his good mode, that's the state of mind he's in.
Well, the past few games, certainly Earl has not resorted to his verbal antics, and it has served him in good stead.
Mm-hmm. Last night, too.
Mm-hmm.
Here you can see the focused look on Earl's face. This man possesses phenomenal talent. To lead Efren Reyes at this juncture of the match, many of the experts predicted that he would have no chance.
Mm-hmm. Well, Efren's still in that very pensive mood. We're all set now. Earl Strickland leads at 90-79. And Strickland just going on his merry way to pick up another game. And we establish a 12-game lead at 91-79.
Every time Efren gets an opportunity to make it just a little bit of a run, some catastrophic occurs, and then Earl comes back up with his big offense and generates a game or two from that, depriving Efren of the chance to really make a run at this match.
I'll remind you again, friends, that this is now a race to 120. Score at 91-79 in favor of Earl Strickland, and he has to break. He's just got perfect angle of that one ball, time and again. He's been knocking it in that side pocket.
Earl made a fine shot there. That's a carom shot, and he's going to be richly rewarded with a possible game-winning shot on the 9-ball. And he hit it very well. He hit it very well. That was not an easy shot. You hear some moans in the crowd. That was a very difficult shot. You had to use some power to get it around there. And, Earl's not satisfied with his shot either. 2 balls hanging out of the pocket just enough that you really need to be able to hit it pretty full in order to make it.
The shot of the 2 ball, what is his plan here?
Well, I think he's going to be forced to take a cue ball to the rail and come at it. It's so difficult that you just have to play wide open offense here and try to make the ball. He's made illegal contact, but Efren's going to have a pretty good chance to make the ball, I believe. Despite the awkward nature of their lay, I believe Efren will make this shot.
How do you approach this one, Mark?
Well, he's going to masse it a little bit, and that being the case, and the ceiling happens to be a little bit low here, and is going to possibly deprive him of that opportunity. The 2 ball must be a little further out of the pocket. It's, Efren's in a particularly bad spot, that being the case. If he's reduced to a masse hope, it's a much more difficult shot than I initially anticipated. Looks like he's going to try a double kiss shot. No, not quite enough space.
Let's try out all the options here. Well, it looks like his alternatives are being reduced.
Efren's committed a foul. The referee's made a good call. The nature of the foul was what we call a double hit, and when the balls are so close like that, sometimes it's hard to keep the tip from initiating contact with the cue ball after the cue ball has left the tip. Strickland now looking to make his 92nd win.
He does. 92-79 is the score in favor of Earl Strickland. Race to 120 here between Earl Strickland and Efren Reyes at Ridgeway's Bar and Restaurant in Hong Kong. Score stands at 92 for Strickland, 79 for Reyes, as Strickland comes up again to the break.
Another tremendous break and another tremendous reward. He's got the 5 ball hanging. He has a good shot on the 3.
Well, that time the 1 ball ended up in the corner pocket together with the 2 on the other side.
Earl's not 100% happy with the shot on the floor, but the way he's been making balls, I think if there's any hope to make it, I think he'd make it easily. Well, he made a spectacular bank shot. Difficulty of making that bank shot precluded him from playing ideal position, and now he's confronted with yet another difficult shot. Despite the fact the 5's in the pocket, he's going to have to do something to pocket the 5 and still get some type of position. Actually, right now, he just has to worry about hitting the 5. He's going to attempt a masse. A lot of spin. Another dynamic shot. He's not out of the woods yet, though. He still has a tough shot on the 6. Looks like he thinks he can cut this in.
Oh.
Well, that was a two-way shot. He knew that had he landed a little heavy, it was going to be long.
Earl Strickland has a 13-game lead over Efren Reyes.
What a nice cut. Another great shot. Just can't say enough about Efren's fighting spirit here. He's really toughed one out from a couple of difficult shots. Those balls go in much freer when you're in the lead than when you're trailing.
But given the personality of Efren Reyes and what he revealed to me, that nothing really phases him during a tournament. He's just focused on winning the contest, and I'm not surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if Efren just starts going a run if he gets right breaks.
Well, he needs 40 games to win the match, so Strickland still needs 28. By no means is Efren out of it, but he sure has to get some offensive opportunities off the break in order to be able to create enough game-winning shots to get back into this match. And that was a tremendous shot. He had to go heavy into the rail, and that was even a little bit risky. A little bit of draw, bring the cue ball back off the rail. Now we're going to see a powerful backspin shot.
The 6 is on the other end of the table.
That was well executed. Cue ball's out off the cushion so that he has a little freedom to choose top or bottom on the cue ball, depending upon the exact angle that he's achieved. And that was a beautiful position shot as well.
Efren Reyes is down by 12 at 80-92.
Well, the old black cat's been following Efren tonight. Just can't catch a break.
Again, a 13-game lead here for Earl Strickland. at 93-80. Another one of those unfortunate occurrences dealt Efren Reyes a stunning blow there in the last game to get Earl Strickland to establish another 13-game advantage in the match. However, on the break, the cue ball flew off the table on that break by Earl Strickland.
Well, despite the fact that that's occurred, the 7 and the 9 are going to be challenging to do much with. The 6 is on the opposite end of the table, and it doesn't appear that the 7-9 have a direct route to the pocket. It would appear it's possible to bank the 9 ball, but anytime you deal with a combination bank, one, the bank by itself is iffy, but then a combination bank and you actually quadruple the difficulty, even if it's laying good. And things just haven't been going Efren's way at all. And in no large part is it that it's just purely bad luck. His opponent is just playing so superbly well. Every little bad luck thing is magnified.
Magnified, yes.
Mentally, what's so tough about some of this stuff is that you know you're going to have to make some hard shots in this rack because the balls just lay so difficult. Well, he meant to hit it going by the 9 on the way in. Yeah, mentally this rack was very trying. Even had he made the breakout, he was going to still have to make a difficult shot on the 6 ball. Now we're going to see a slow spin. Yeah, absolute stunning safety, but while it's a legal shot, it's probably not safe for the likes of Earl Strickland. He can knock these in with ease. This kid is really a ball-making machine, isn't he?
Yeah.
There was a spectacular spin shot. He used a lot of side spin on the cue ball. Allowed the side spin to twist the object ball back into the pocket.
Again, Strickland gets distracted.
What a great shot. Yeah. What a truly great shot.
put away for win number 94 for Earl Strickland. At a 14-game advantage here.
Well, Strickland's really working hard the entire 3 days that we've had him here. He's been nothing but a picture of high intensity.
This is the biggest lead in the match so far. A 14-game lead for Earl Strickland at 94-80.
One of the rare times that I can't even remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Strickland didn't make a ball on the break.
What's Efren faced with now, Mark?
Well, it's not very lucky, but it's better than what he's been getting. He's probably going to have to play a safety. Oh, wow.
Is that a safety or what?
Yeah. That's a lethal safety. It just doesn't matter what the score is. Efren's performance does not deteriorate any from, you can't tell looking at him or the way he plays whether he's winning or losing. He just gives every shot 100%.
Earl Strickland fouls it.
Well, Efren's presented with a real runnable table. He wants to pick up a good position in the 2-ball here. Made it look easy. Transfer from the 3 to the 4 is the only obstacle left for him to deal with, and he wants to get a good angle on the 3 now, so it's easy to get on the 4. Well,
I think you got it.
He didn't get ideal. I know it's negotiable for him, though. It's going to require some low right-hand spin, and he's got to drag the cue ball between the 5 and 7. A little bit of angle to deal with here, and what happens is he's got to cut the 7 or the 4 ball so slight that the cue ball retains quite a bit of its speed. He used the 7 as a blocking ball to slow the cue ball down. You notice with these great players, they don't travel the cue ball very much around the table. It's not running all around it. Unlike what most people think they use vast amounts of English. They really don't. They try to stay in the center of the cue ball as much as possible. The game is so hard that to magnify the difficulty by putting spin on the ball and moving it all over the table only accelerates your chances of mistakes. I like the way that Earl Strickland minimizes his mistakes. He takes care of a number of the obstacles on the break. He just knocks them right in.
That's what this power game does. Well, right now it's still a commanding 13-game lead by Earl Strickland at 94-81.
Well, no one has ever beaten Efren in a length of match like this.
Score at 94-81 in favor of Earl Strickland. Race to 120.
Well, there's a dynamic break.
Well, Efren Reyes has not been blessed with the kind of breaks that he'd like to have in this match. But he'll take anything that comes his way, which is positive in any way. That seems to be the problem here, Mike.
Well, it's a very thin cut back to the side pocket, and that's a small pocket at the angle that you're going to, and especially when you have to hit it with a little power. Beyond that, he has to negotiate the cue ball well with off the object balls. And he's just picked up an absolutely incredible bad roll. He hit the shot flawlessly, played the cue ball off the 7-ball, but the 7-ball rebounded back into his line. Now he's in a position that's going to be very difficult to even hit the 3-ball, let alone create anything positive. But one thing for sure, he will hit this 3-ball. I'm very confident. He's just excellent on these. He just couldn't create much positive out of it. He did the most with it once again. Every shot he's played, he gets everything he can out of it, but he hasn't been blessed with good starting shots, either tonight or last night. Like we said earlier, this Strickland offense, it magnifies any little glitch in your game. Mm-hmm. That was a good shot off the rail. Get enough power, enough accuracy. We have a pretty knowledgeable crowd. They recognize those testy shots. Strickland one stroke that one. It's really feeling good.
Boy, it shows.
Yeah, he's confidence personified.
And again, he establishes a 14-game lead at 95-81. We'll take a break. The score at 95-81, 14-game lead here by Earl Strickland. Needs 120 to wrap this up. And he has just exuded a lot of confidence. It looks like he ran into some trouble here, Mike.
Well, he hit a good break, but he's blocked on the 2-ball. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him kick at this. Pushing out is not going to end up being real favorable for him, so he may have to make an offensive play at the 9-ball. The way that you would do that is to kick 2 cushions in behind the 2-ball, having the cue ball carom off the back of the 2 and send it into the 9 and the 2 down table, so you might get a 2-way play out of it. Well, he executed the shot properly, and he's been rewarded by good fortune on the other end of the table. But when you hit good shots, those things happen. And that was another terrific shot. He's going to have to make a good shot to get from the 3 to the 5, though. The 3 balls approximately 6.5 feet away, and he's going to have to backspin back using power into a half pocket.
Well, we started tonight's session with a 7-game lead by Earl Strickland. At one point, Efren was able to whittle it down to only 4, but now it has ballooned once again to 14 at 95-81.
And right now, Earl Strickland's just putting on a 9-ball clinic for everybody. Even his opponent has been reduced to just being a spectator.
That has been the situation throughout this session. Efren has not had too many turns at the table, and Earl Strickland is just capitalizing on that. He now leads 96-81, the biggest lead in the match.
And we have quite an Asian delegation arriving fashionably late.
Well,
these are some very close friends of Bob Moore's.
Bob Moore, well, this, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is the proprietor of Ridgeway's Bar and Restaurant, the venue of this match, and Mr. Moore has also been the man behind all of this.
Absolute tremendous safety play. Earl shot from across the table, only moving the ball a few inches in the one ball. Even though Efren can hit it, it's not going to be easy. He needs to bring the cue ball down the table behind the 2 and the 7. And that's a tremendous shot. The bad news is he's moved the 7 down by the 9, where the 7's not a very easy ball to play position for to make it. Well, things are working out pretty nicely for Earl. Made a great shot there, and he's been rewarded for a nice hit on the ball by leaving Efren a very difficult ball to make. This has been a tremendous opportunity to learn to play good pool by watching these tapes and seeing how these pros go at these racks when confronted with all these supremely difficult situations.
Well, Efren has had to pick out a lot of rabbits from out of his hat, and seems to have a whole farm of them.
Oh, tremendous shot. He shot to what we call a blind pocket, and plus that blind pocket's only half a pocket, actually. So you have to hit that ultra clean.
Well, a more than just sizable lead that stares Efren Reyes in the face. It's a 15-game deficit that he has to make up.
Efren now visualizing the exact place he wants the cue ball to break the 7 away from the 9 so that he can reobtain position. That was a tremendous shot. He's moved the 9 down in front of the side pocket and has ideal position on the 7 ball. And those are the type of things that he does that he's been so aptly nicknamed the Magician.
Mm-hmm.
That's not random luck. That was by design.
picks up a badly needed game. Score now stands at 96-82 Strickland. What time's the next break? What time's the next break?
Yeah.
12:30.
Midnight, yeah. Midnight.
Oh, midnight. Efren Reyes trailing by 14 games. And it's gotten pretty late in the day, so he'll have to make his move now.
He made a ball on the break, and he has a chance to hit the one ball. I don't think he has a chance to make the one ball. By that I mean I think we'll see him play safe. Though my guesses haven't been too good, he may cut this right in. I think he's looking at possibly cutting it over there by the 4 ball, but that would require a lot of spin and a left-handed stroke. He's doing it right now. Look at this shot. Look at this shot. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. When you use that volume of spin, the cue ball deflects away from the area that you're hitting to, so you have to compensate for that. And you actually, in that case, he had to aim to miss the entire ball and estimate where the cue ball is going to deflect back to the edge of the ball. And just to make it difficult, he did it left-handed. Another tremendous shot.
It looks like he's in good position now. Try and pick up another game.
And just like Strickland did a few wrecks ago, Efren's created an offensive opportunity off his break.
But they've been few and far between, and really needs a lot more of them to be able to bounce back. Well, that's one down. He reduces the lead to 13 from a high of 15. It is now 96-93 in favor of Earl Strickland. I'm going to leave you for a couple of seconds. Efren Reyes set the break, trailing in the match 96-83. He's failed to make a ball on the break. Strickland's going to be confronted with a situation that I'm not sure if the 2 ball goes.
Looks like he is going to attempt to pocket the 2 ball. Made it with quite a bit of ease. The 1 ball's rolled to worst place on the table it could have gotten for Earl. My counterpart here is on vacation. He's had some accrued vacation time. Actually, we've been subjected to just sitting here in the booth. He needed to take a little break.
What's another big puzzle here for Efren?
Well, the Efren broke and didn't make anything, and Earl was able to make a safety out of it. And quite an effective safety. Efren lining up a 2-rail kick shot. Certainly not an easy shot at all. He made a terrific shot, but no reward. Absolutely no reward, and I predict that we're going to see a play at the 9 ball here as well as maybe make the 1. Well, he made the 1 ball. He's achieved pretty good position off the 9 ball with the cue ball. It was a darn good shot. I don't know what he has left here. If he can cut this or bank it. Yeah, the bank shot. Made it quite easily.
Earl Strickland is up by 13 games, 96-83.
A rare miss by Mr. Strickland. Very rare miss. Efren had to take a little chance there. He was off angle. He hit a perfect stroke. But it just didn't come out with much of a shot. Lining up the combination shot on the 9 ball.
Is that makeable?
It's makeable, yes. The degree of difficulty is quite a bit harder than what he would have liked to obtain, but I think he'll make the shot.
Some evidently Efren Reyes fans there as he cuts the lead down to 12 at 96 games for Strickland, 84 for Reyes. Well, Efren Reyes has taken time out to grab a bite to eat.
Has he?
Yeah.
Well, this is a test of endurance.
Certainly these guys seem to be holding up better than I am.
Yeah, he broke him really well, but nothing went in. Strickland's on his good pace again. And this is the stage of the match that we really figure to see fatigue set in a little bit and maybe play a role. As both players are struggling just a little bit.
Well, seems to be looking good at this juncture. And we saw a hint of a smile just after that last shot.
Had some background noise there. Didn't affect Earl Strickland, but scared me pretty good.
Well, he's been distracted by lesser things, but that one was really loud, and he just shrugged it off.
Well, I think he sees the opportunity here, if he can stay focused, to go ahead and win this match. You know, I first met this kid when he really came on the scene was 1983.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to play the finals of a huge tournament that no one expected him to do well in. And he had to play the formidable Steve Miserak, probably the most prolific American pool player of modern day. And everyone gave Earl little chance. It was on TV, first time ever on TV, and the car was at stake. And Earl got in there and just knocked him in, just like he's doing here. And he's really never looked back his whole career. He's won 5 world championships.
Now he's seized a commanding lead over Efren Reyes, up again to 13 games at 97-84. And he needs only 23 more to wrap this all up.
Now, Strickland still not having any trouble making balls on the break. Terrific safety. Earl barely hit the 2 ball, moving it to the center of the table and brought the cue ball 9 feet away. And that takes a lot of practice to be able to do that. And I don't mean just a lot of practice over the years. I mean you have to really be in tune on a daily basis to be able to execute that type shot.
And Efren Reyes has just been continually barraged by these difficult situations that he has faced with.
Well, he's usually on the giving end of these as opposed to the receiving end.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, you haven't asked me what he's going to do because I have no idea. Double kissed it. Oh, that was
Besides good to that.
That's one for my memory banks because I would have never envisioned that shot. I'm sure that was by design. There was the patented Earl Strickland jump shot. And a good hit. And he would have had ideal position. Efren needs a good position shot here to assure himself of a win this rack. And every once in a while on the viewing screen you can get a glimpse of Efren Reyes' grip. He has an ultra light grip on the cue.
Pretty loose.
That affords him the dynamic control over the cue ball that imparts a great deal of spin, but he doesn't have to use a great deal of power to put the spin on the ball. Efren's about to pick up his 85th win. He'll be needing 35 more games to close out this session.
And that's a far cry from what Earl needs, which is only 28. 23.
23. Yeah, it's not even been on, so.
Wasn't on, was it?
No. Reyes to break.
12-game differential between Efren Reyes and Earl Strickland.
He made a good break and has a shot on the one, and everything's just peachy this rack, but the problem was it wasn't the one ball or the wing ball, so that doesn't bode well for him consistently making balls on the break hereafter. Had to use a forced top spin, and he's picked up a real difficult angle. Real difficult angle to negotiate now. Yeah, Efren's clearly not happy with it. Now he has to play the shot maker game. And fatigue is starting to take a little toll.
Certainly not the kind of a shot that we expected of Efren.
Well, I think the stress load and the terrific shot by Earl Strickland, power shot. Terrific stress load, and then the fact that you're down by so many games and you really can't afford a mistake, and that just magnifies the difficulty of any little misalignment on the pattern of the balls.
On the other hand, Earl Strickland has managed to stay loose.
He's played well throughout the entire 3-day period, and I think we're starting to see a guy that sees victory. You know, it's like a racehorse heading for the barn. He's on a mission. That was a nice shot. On the corner to a half pocket.
And he picks up win number 98 and boasts a 13-game advantage over Efren Reyes.
Strickland to break. There's the patented one ball in the side pocket. Something else went in as well. I think it was the wing ball.
On the other side.
You know, we talk about fatigue playing a part in the way these players are playing. Our commentary's starting to digress a little too.
I know.
Takes quite a bit of concentration and energy to put forth. What a shot. What a shot. Strickland moved the 2-ball less than an inch. When you're hitting them like that, you're on top of your game. You're in the...
Certainly looks like Earl Strickland has been able to conquer all of the other things that come into his mind, which were shown the past couple of nights, and he's just on cruise control.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I really think those were perpetrated by the fact that he didn't believe himself that he might be able to win this match. I know that every day I saw him before and during practice, all I could talk about was Efren this and Efren that. It wasn't really, he was concerned about what Efren was going to do more so than what he was going to do. And now he sees the opportunity to win, and it seems like it's really calmed him down.
About the approach of Earl Strickland to this game is more of a sport, and that looks like it's been rewarding him a lot. Seems perky and alive, even with the length that they've gone in this match.
Oh, by all means, he trains. He's running 5 miles a day, and He works on his break incessantly. And a lot of the specialty shots, the shot-making skills that you see here are byproducts of long hours on a daily basis. And to his credit, that's always been one of the aspects of him that I find the most admirable. He's fallen a little short of ideal position here. To tell you the truth, though, a little difficulty in the shot. It seems like he even bears down that much harder because he's just absolutely had zero problems pocketing balls from shots, positions like this.
I guess he calls attention to the problem at hand and just wants people to realize how difficult the shot is.
Well, his comment was, I didn't choke that time, did I? Well, he hasn't choked on very many shots. In fact, none of the shots, what I call it, actually choking. The rare misses, and they have been rare.
There's now a 14-game lead for Earl Strickland at 99-85.
Here we see artwork, a picture of Earl.
Oh, that gleam in his eyes, that killer instinct.
Yeah, he definitely possesses that. The will to win is very big in this man. And Earl's down to where his next win will produce his 100th win in this match. At that point, he will only need 20 more racks to put this match away and the $100,000 first prize, but more importantly, the title of an undisputed world champion. Most all the contests around the world are merely a race to 11 and a couple lucky breaks dictates the outcome. Despite the shortness of the match, he's still responded with 5 world titles. But if they played matches of this length, I can assure you that he would perpetually be in the finals or quarterfinals of all those tournaments.
Well, Efren Reyes comes up. He's trailing by 14 games, 99-85, a race to 120. Played over 3 nights here at the Ridge Race Bar and Restaurant in Hong Kong. Any problems with this layout?
Well, yes, there's always problems, especially at this stage of the game with a little fatigue and the importance of these racks now, because time is definitely of the essence. Not only can he not afford any slip-ups, but he can't afford any more bad luck. He's absolutely maxed out his bad luck. Strickland is playing so well, even if he was to go into a little bit of a leave of his best game, he's going to get certainly some chances. And
well, this is a very comfortable margin at this juncture, a 14-game lead.
Just the volume of strain that Efren would have to, the amount of energy he'd have to utilize to get back in the game, why, even if he was to tie the match up, it would burn up a bulk of energy that might deny him the ability to win the match. Terrific position shot. Efren has generated a run out. This will give him 86 wins.
And he's down by 13 from Earl Strickland. 99 to 86 is the score. Score at 99-86. Efren Reyes at the break. He's got a lot of catching up to do. But he'll have to have some success at the break to do that. And he hasn't got all that many in this tournament.
Strickland opens with a terrific shot. That's that elevated cue shot that I talk about. Strickland pocketing balls with seeming tireless, dogged determination. Yeah, I don't think he's got the place on the table he wanted to be. We're going to see Earl make a kick attempt.
Another opportunity here presents itself to Efren Reyes.
Well, these have been few and far between.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, when I envisioned this match, I never envisioned so few opportunities would exist between each player. There just hasn't been very many unforced errors. And Efren puts away his 87th game.
And Efren Reyes is faced with the problem of trying to jumpstart a comeback. But you got to start somewhere.
Well, his biggest liability is balls going out on the break. That's the main thing that's his biggest task.
Well, you can see him trying to get focused on this particular break. Still nothing.
And he's clearly disappointed. He also realizes that he can't make balls on the break. This match is out of reach.
Frustration might also be seeping in this
Well,
picture.
I think that's the impetus for the frustration. Is not that he knows his playing is still okay, but he's just not getting enough of the first chances. Look at that shot. Strickland rifled one in the side pocket from a real.
He absolutely just drilled it in.
This kid's getting stronger as time goes by. And he trains for our matches of this length. He's played him ever since I've known him. Years back, he used to be a prolific money player and travel all around. And sometimes they play for 15, 20 hours at a crack. That was a nice shot.
Well, he's been time and again coming up with those remarkable shot-making ability.
Well, he's lining up for the very stroke that he does better than anybody else in the world. And that's these elevated Q-type strokes. And despite the fact he didn't get ideal position, believe me, that's a super tough ball to make when you elevate the cue like that, because you're shooting down through so many different planes.
Is this very much of a problem for him?
Well, the problem exists is that the making of the 7 ball over here by us wouldn't be hard, but you have to negotiate the 9 ball with the cue ball. The cue ball is for sure going to bump the 9.
Well, he solved that problem. That's the 100th win of Earl Strickland in this match. 100 for Strickland, 88 for Reyes.
You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? You knew it. Tell the truth.
Well, all of a sudden,
When's our next break? There's always enough time for a break. I'm looking forward to the break now.
Strickland, he's giving speeches.
Well, it's 20 games away from grabbing the $100,000 pot. This is a winner-take-all, ladies and gentlemen. Score is 100 for Strickland, 88 for Reyes.
Earl continues to pummel the rack and drop balls off the break. And the table's not breaking easily at all. Efren's hit him with his good break a number of times to no avail. I know the exact situation. I've played from this scenario many times where you're hitting your break and you're hitting your good break where the cue ball's stopping good, but you just don't have enough power to really make balls go in when they're not wanting to go in freely. It's really been interesting because I wasn't sure if strategy player would end up in a long match like this would offset the big break advantage.
Game lead by Earl Strickland, and he's just knocking them in from everywhere. It's 101 to 88 in favor of Earl Strickland, and he's certainly looking good, very good.
I think it's 101 to 87.
Oh, 87. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I bet. Kamali ako doon 101-87. Oo, pati yung last game pakimarkahan lang na i-edit out natin yung sinabi ko. Oo. 88-87 na pala siya. Okay. Pakimarkahan. Oo.
Well, we're about 15 minutes away from our second break, so
that's good news.
Yeah, our second much needed.
Yeah.
God, they've wore the commentators down. That's hard to believe. There.
Here at Ridgeway's Bar and Restaurant in Hong Kong, this $100,000, that's US dollar, winner-take-all challenge between Earl Strickland of the United States and Efren Reyes of the Philippines. The score stands at 101 for Strickland, 87 for Reyes. A race to 120 over 3 nights of competition here at Ridgeway's. What do you think was the turning point in this match?
Well, I don't know that it was a turning point. It was just this dynamic break of Earl, and he's maintained his intensity. I guess what I would really say, I think the turning point of the match is that he's maintained pretty good composure all 3 days. I mean, relative to what he's prone to do.
Well, in the first night, Earl Strickland opened up a 3-game lead. On the second night, he widened that gap to 7. And in several instances, a couple of instances here tonight, in the last night, he has led by as many as 15.
Yeah, he's 14 games ahead as we speak. Oh, a tremendous shot. Absolutely tremendous shot.
Well, that's the Efren Reyes that most pool enthusiasts know.
Well, there's some decisions to be made here. If Earl cannot shoot between the 5 and 7, which it appears that he can't from our vantage point. If he's, well, maybe he can. He must be able to.
Yeah.
He's made a tremendous shot here. Perfect position. Really the only place on the table he could obtain good position from, where he's landed the cue ball.
At this juncture, with this commanding lead of Earl Strickland, what would be going inside Efren Reyes' mind to nurture a flicker of hope?
Frankly, his only hope now is if Earl self-destructs. And the only one that will have a say in it is Earl, and you can see that he's not allowing anything to bother him at this point, or earlier everything bothered him. We've had bottles break and cigarettes flicker and microphones drop, and he really had made his shot without saying anything. interesting. I've been at tournaments before, and he'll be shooting it when he's in one of those high-strung modes, and there'll be a guy sitting up in the bleachers 20 rows up, and he'll be shooting a shot of no more difficulty than this, and he'll look up at the bleachers and say, "I'll give you $50 if you quit eating them potato chips." And I'm not exaggerating. I've witnessed that before.
What is it? It doesn't really distract him. It's just, what, letting off steam or something?
Well, actually, he's such a perfectionist that he wants you to watch with perfection, and he wants everything.
Well, he picks up another game here, and now widens the gap to 15 once again at 102 to 87.
Yeah.
Earl Strickland is just 18 games away from wrapping this up. The $100,000 winner-take-all 9-ball challenge.
He's still hammering the rack, isn't he?
Yeah.
You
He's
know,
not letting up.
Ed, we were talking about Earl's emotions and his behavior and personality, and I'll tell you, I think he is a very misunderstood person, and by that I'm certainly not endorsing his total behavior, but I know what he believes. He believes that this sport should be like any other sport, and it should be held to the same standards that all other major sports are, and unfortunately it's just not to that level yet, and he's very frustrated. In any other sport he'd be a multiple-time millionaire. He just, it's not even about money so much as it is about that he feels like he trains and works as hard as his, and he is a very temperamental, high-strung player. But oftentimes he acts in real good faith. I've been at tournaments before, and he's been very generous when there's been people ask for his support in something pool-related. I know he's been to a lot of benefits and charities and participated not just only by being there, but as well financially.
Well, seems to be some ebbs and tides in his behavior, and tonight he's been extra benevolent.
Yeah. Well, it's a little easier for him to be good when he's winning, I can assure you that. Just been signaling from our referee Neil that after this next rack we're going to take our midnight break.
Yes, this is the second break tonight, and everybody's looking forward to it, I can assure you.
Now, Efren's committed a foul, and the quality of play has deteriorated slightly from the fatigue that the players are feeling.
Commanding 15-game lead here by Earl Strickland towards the later portion of this match.
think he's going to be a little short here. I guess not.
He certainly has stayed focused all throughout this evening. This is the 103rd win of Earl Strickland in this match. We go to a break.